Hello and welcome to Classic Gaming with Bez. I'm Bez, and today we're taking a look at the classic SNES title, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Now we're starting here on the first mission, really the epilogue, because you don't get anything other than the blue boomerang and the torch for doing it. You get the torch in that little chest right there. We're going to run out here and go up to the castle. It's about 2 screens up. Now, we're not just going to be walking through the epilogue, we're actually going to be reviewing this game at the same time. Now, anyone who's ever played this game will tell you it's probably one of the very best games ever made. Everything about it is just great fun. There's weapons in this game that are being introduced that have never been in any of the other Zelda games. You have the hook shot and the long shot. It's their first appearance. It's also the first time you have the ability to change the color of your tunic. You get the red and blue tunic. In this game, unlike the ones for Nintendo 64, you are unable to change it by choice. Once you get the item, it'll change and you won't be able to change it back. It's also the first appearance of the ability to put things in a bottle. In the previous Zelda game, you had bottles, but once you used what was in them, they were gone. You couldn't fill them up with fairies or what have you. Now, this is the first time you have any magic power in the game, so we're going to use it to light up this torch using our magic meter. You see it went down a little bit. Now you can use the torch to destroy enemies. It's really hard to get them close enough to do it. Usually they just kick the crap out of you. So we're going to go up here into the castle right now. And we're going to slice our way through these bushes and try and take these guys out. They're giving me a little bit of harder time. The heavily clad guys, the easiest way to kill them is try to get diagonally up from them like that and slice them up. The collision detection in this game isn't great, and it's pretty much the only way to kill the heavily armed guys. I'm trying to get this guy to get a little bit closer to me, so I can take him up with a spin attack, which I do. It drops another heart container, which I really needed. Now we're in the castle, and what you want to do is follow this red carpet. It'll take you to the very basement of the dungeon, which is where you need to go, and unlock Princess Zelda from this black knight who has a mace, and I'll show you how to kill him once you get there. Now, a lot of people will say that this game is really easy. It's not so easy as much as it is the other Zelda games are harder than it. They involved a lot more deeper problem solving. They were in 3D, so the weapons were a lot more skillful than they are in this. You just pretty much have to be across from the opponent and press the B button. All that said, though, this does have a lot of really good problem solving for an SNES title. The further along you get in the game, the harder the puzzles get. Now, this is the map screen here, and all these little darker blue rooms are rooms that you haven't been, and the lighter blue ones are rooms that you've been in. The flashing yellow dot was you, and the solid yellow dots were doors that you had used. Now we're going to try and run through here. You want to be wary of the edges because it's very easy for you to fall off. The easiest way to kill enemies here is just to throw the containers at them, and they'll either kill them or throw them off the side. Now, I almost fall off here. I managed to get back on and just take off. I don't want to have to fight those guys up there because I usually end up losing. And we're going to come up through here and sneak around these 2 green guys. In the next room, there's a blue guy we want to fight, or a green guy we want to fight, and the room after that a blue guy, so we need to make sure that we're not half dead when we get there. Now again, these heavier clad enemies, you want to try and get diagonally across from them. It's much easier to kill them that way. Now we're going to come over here, and this is the room with the blue boomerang. We're going to kill this guy here. Pretty easy, dispatch them pretty quickly. Like I said, if you're diagonally across from them, they die pretty quick. We're going to select the boomerang, and we're going to need it for the next room. This is probably one of the best weapons you get early on in the game. It's pretty resourceful. You can use it to pick up items that you can't reach or stun enemies so you can kill them. Now we're going to go deeper into the basement. We're going to have to backtrack later, but when we're in the top part of the dungeon, I'm going to take you the opposite way of which we came so you can see what that looks like. It's pretty much exactly the same. We're going to stun this enemy with our boomerang and give him 2 quick slashes to kill him. Now, in the basement, we have this black knight with a mace. The easiest way to kill him is to come up into this room here and wait for him to come and throw these bottles at him. I miss with the first one, but I'm able to kill him with the next 2. He's pretty much an easy enemy, but if you're not careful, he can take you out. So we're going to pick up the dungeon key. come over here, unlock Zelda. There's 5 rubies in the chest. She talks to you for a little bit, and you gotta take her back up to the castle. While this is going on, it's gonna get a little bit deeper into the story of the game. Basically, Ganon, this is pretty much his first real appearance, is going to try and unlock the Triforce so he can get to another realm, the Light Realm, and try and twist it dark and evil with his mind. Pretty much the same story of Ocarina of Time. If you've played the 2 games, you'll notice that the stories are very similar. The characters are very similar. Now, here we're going to take out these 2 green guys. It's harder to get around them. You could just go up the stairs, but I prefer to take them out because it's a little bit faster. We're going to go around and up these stairs here. It's a shortcut so you don't have to go across the bridge again with those 4 blue guys. You can avoid fighting them all together if you go this way. We're going to jump down off this ledge here and scurry back up the stairs the way we came. Now this game offers something that a lot of the other Zelda games didn't, which is the ability to upgrade your sword quite a lot. In the original Zelda there's only 3 swords, I think. In this one you get the sword that you have now, then you upgrade it to the Master Sword, and then you can get it tempered, and you can get the Fairy Queen to upgrade it again. It's really, the more powerful it gets, the easier it is to kill enemies, so I would definitely suggest upgrading it as soon as you can. You can upgrade it to the final sword about 4th dungeon into Outworld, which is the 7th dungeon overall. It's pretty easy after that point. That's when the game starts to get more difficult. The 5th, 6th, and 7th dungeons are probably the hardest in the game. I had a hard time with the ice dungeon the first time I played it, and I also had a hard time with the I call it the dead dungeon. It's in the Lost Woods, and it's very difficult. It's really confusing. A lot of the rooms look the same, and it's a lot of switches and puzzles. Now, as we're making our way through this part of the dungeon here, the only enemies you'll encounter are snakes and rats. They're pretty easy to dispatch. Just hack them twice and they're dead. Now, when you're down here, an easy way to be able to see more of the room is just to light up the torch pedestals with the torch item. It'll illuminate the room dimly at first. If you light another one, you'll be able to see pretty much everything. So we're going to keep going through here. We're trying to make our way to a sanctuary. It's basically a church, and we're going to drop Zelda off there with a priest, and we're going to pick up another heart container, and that'll pretty much be the end of this mission. Now, I know a lot of people would tell you that Ocarina of Time is the best Zelda game, but really, I like this game much better. I find Ocarina of Time borrows a bit too much from the storyline. It's pretty much the exact same game with improved graphics, and really, I'm a sucker for the classics, so. Now, we're looking for this rat here. He has the key. He's going to drop it. We're going to go open up this door over here. Now, you'll notice on the walls there's places that you can explode with a bomb. You don't have any bombs at this point in the game, but if you come back later to the graveyard beside the sanctuary up top here, you'll be able to fall down and blow them up. There's 500 rupees and some other goodies in there, I believe. Now this next room here, there's 2 switches. The one on the right is the correct switch, but we're going to pull the one on the left so you can see what happens. It's going to drop down a ton of rats, or not rats, sorry, snakes. We're going to have to chop them up or try and avoid them. I'm just going to run past them at this point. Now sometimes if you pull the switch, some green bombs fall down and explode. You really don't want that to happen because it's hard to avoid it. Now this is basically the end of the mission. You're going to talk to the priest here for a little bit, and like I said, in this container over here is another heart container. They're bringing up to 4 solid red hearts. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this game. If you liked it, please favorite and subscribe. I'm going to try and put one of these up every couple of days. I'm Bez, and this has been Classics with Bez. Thank you for viewing, and have a nice day.